Wouldn't that be so great for WrestleMania? WrestleMania night one wouldn't it have been so something to talk about if it was really that good, right? If WrestleMania night one was so good, wouldn't it be something that I would love to be talking about right now? Yeah, it would. And to be honestly, literally, it makes no sense how this company, no, this, they, I don't even know how, I can't even get the words out because WrestleMania overall was just garbage. People, I've seen most people for online are saying night one is complete garbage and night two is just good. Honestly, both nights were garbage to me. I don't think either nights were good. I do think night two was a little better, but overall, like I don't care about either night. Like, and the big reason is not because the match quality or because the commercials or because of high ticket prices. Like all the things that you see people talking about that their main complaints. My main complaints is the bad buildups to these to fucking WrestleMania. That's literally the problem. Literally, that's the problem. Literally, why would I care about any of these fucking matches about literally, um, whether or not who wins or who doesn't? Because at the end of the day, the build-ups to these matches were fucking trash, and all these matches are just filler too. Because it doesn't matter who wins or who loses a lot of these matches. Even the title matches, because these people have either already held um have already held that title, or they're just gonna be booked garbagely because of Triple H. He doesn't know how to book good title reigns. So it doesn't fucking matter who wins or loses any of these matches, including the title matches. So I'm not gonna sit here and praise any of this shit, man. And night one especially. Night one was just trash. Cause at least with night two there was I think that night two, like I was more like happier with stuff like Obafemi. He beat Brock Lesnar. I thought that was cool, right? And he beat him in a dominant way. And Brock Lesnar's retirement, I thought that was cool. Like just seeing him retire, it was such a good moment. I enjoyed that. And then the match with CM Punk and Roman, I thought that was a good match and whatnot. The match with like fucking the ladder match. Even though I didn't care about that match, that was a filler match. I did not care about that match at all. But the match quality was good. So night two, just by those three things, was better than night one. But overall, night one and night two were still fucking garbage. I don't give a fuck about either night. And the build-ups to these matches were fucking trash. So I'm not going to sit here and praise WrestleMania, especially night one, for being anything but just being garbage. And I haven't made a video in so long, man. I haven't made a video, and I'm sorry about that. That's my fault. I just been busy, and I also been lazy. I don't know. I haven't been making videos for all those reasons, pretty much. And yeah, that's on me. But as far as like even if I was making videos, what would I even be talking about when it comes to WWE at least? It's fucking garbage. I would just be talking about how garbage it is every fucking week. It's just like it annoys me. It's just it just makes me upset. Just like I just don't like talking about this stuff. Let alone like every day. But every now and then I do like to, because it kind of like it feels good to like voice how I'm feeling and just like talking about this shit, because this shit is annoying. WWE has gone downhill. It's been downhill, honestly, since like I've been watching, but I just didn't really realize it as much till recently. It's just like, man, WWE is just fucking trash. And so the way I see it, man, Um, Night one, I'm just gonna review it, and I'm gonna try to be more consistent with videos. Literally, I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but we'll see. But I'm gonna pretty much get right into it. So pretty much what happened, the opening match was LA Knight, Jimmy Uso, Jay Uso versus The Vision and ISO Speed. And the match itself, I mean, I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it personally. It was like, it was just like mid, it was mid at best. It was just whatever. And the big moment that people are talking about is like the ISO Speed moment. And yeah, all that was cool, but I forgot who won. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, it was the Usos and the Vision. They won, and yeah, pretty much that was what happened. And yeah, do I care? No, because what would have changed? The thing about these matches too is that like it doesn't even matter who wins or loses these matches because they just feel so filler because of the bad build up to it, and because of the lack of storyline or just the bad storyline in general. Because like some of these matches do have storylines in night two and night one. In both nights, there is some matches that have story, but it's just a bad build up to it. The way that the storylines are being executed with some of these matches, or with the build up to WrestleMania, that's why it's just hard to really care that much for some of these matches, especially the ones that have no storyline at all whatsoever. So that's why it just feels like, man, it doesn't matter who wins or loses because everyone, it's just being booked so badly, and the build-up was so bad, and some of these matches don't even have any storyline. So why the fuck would I care who wins or loses? But anyways, yeah. So the Vision and Speed lost. He got that's what happened. At the end at the end of the match, Logan Paul, he punches ISO Speed, pretty much goes against him and is angry at him. He pretty much just like pushed him. Then we got what's it called? McIntyre versus Fatu. So pretty much this match, I actually did like this match. I actually do like Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. This match was good. I know some people are saying like, oh, there was no blood. They didn't really do anything that crazy. Me personally, I didn't really expect them to really do anything that crazy because yeah, it's unsanctioned or whatever. But bro, unsanctioned literally doesn't mean shit. Like you could have called it unsanctioned. You could have called it no holds barred. You could have called it no DQ. You could have called it fucking literally anything, right? That has no rules. Any match that you consider has no rules, you could have called it that and it would have been the same thing. So who cares? Honestly, me personally, I don't care. It was just like, it was pretty much just a match with no rules, and they worked with what they went, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good match, but oh man, I knew this would happen, but bro, just seeing Drew McIntyre lose again, like come on, man, it's just like Drew McIntyre. It's just like at this point, Drew McIntyre, I'm because it was said that he was gonna go film a movie after WrestleMania, and you know, but there was also information saying that Drew had pretty much was filming some parts of his movie while still being in the company. So he was already filming Highlander for a little bit, but I guess now that he's gone for WrestleMania, after WrestleMania, he's going to be committing full time to that Highlander movie, and that's all he's going to do, and that's all he's going to be a part of. And I'm glad because honestly, the way the company books this guy, it's just like, bro, it's hard to like it's hard because like man, I like Drew McIntyre, but just seeing him lose all these matches, right? seeing his character just be someone who gets screwed over, and then, you know, he gets screwed over, and then, he ends up, anytime he gets in a match with someone, but the person who gets screwed over, he never gets to overcome. He doesn't even, the least they could do with his character, right? You would think that, they would try to at least let him get a win, right? But they don't even let him do that. Like, Drew McIntyre, they try to portray him as like I feel like, most of the time they try to portray him as this evil villain. But is he really, though? Because he's the one that's constantly getting screwed over, and that's the way they're writing his character. And yet, for some reason, they can't even bother to let him win the match with the person who screwed him over either. Like, not only does he lose by getting screwed over, he then loses to the person who screws him over, and that's how they end the feud. And then that's always what happens, most of the time. And it's just fucking annoying because, like, every fucking feud, every single feud that he's in, that, like, people are paying attention to, that, is with someone, pretty much all his major feuds, man, he just loses them. Then he gets screwed over by someone, and then he doesn't even get to beat them either. So it's like he never gets to overcome anything. That's all his character is, but they portray him as this evil villain. Oh my God, he's so evil. Yeah, he's the one always getting screwed over in his matches. Every single fucking time. And yet, he's the big bad guy we're supposed to hate. We're supposed to boo him. When you're writing his character as someone who always gets fucking screwed over all the damn time. How does that like, bro, how are we supposed to hate this guy? How? Like, Jacob Fatu is the one that started this fucking feud. He's the one that started it from the very beginning. Because, he's the one, he came back in January of this year and literally attacked Drew McIntyre in that steel cage match, remember? He tried to cost him his title. He tried to cost him the title. And, that's what happened. And since then, since Jacob Fatu returned, he was attacking Drew McIntyre every fucking week. And then Drew McIntyre, because Jacob Fatu kept attacking him every week, that's why Drew McIntyre then started costing Jacob Fatu his title opportunity matches, his qualifying matches, because Jacob Fatu kept attacking him every week. Drew McIntyre was justified in doing that, bro. Jacob Fatu is the one that came back and then started attacking him every fucking week. And yet we're supposed to, what? Like all of a sudden, and then what does Jacob Fatu do? Then Jacob Fatu comes and interferes in the Cody match, and he costs Drew McIntyre his title. And literally, that's what happened. And then not only that, but then Drew McIntyre doesn't even get to beat him. He just loses against the person who cost him the match, against the guy that started the feud. Like, this is bullshit, bro. Literally. And even before all this, Jacob Fatu was the one that got in Drew McIntyre's business to begin with. All the way back to September after WrestlePalooza, Drew McIntyre just cutting a promo, speaking facts about getting screwed over by the referee. And Jacob Fatu, for some reason, he decides to get involved in Drew McIntyre's business and starts talking shit, saying, "Oh, Drew McIntyre, stop bitching, stop complaining. All you do is complain. And, you just blame everybody else for your own wrongdoings." Like, he comes out here and says all that for no fucking reason. Like, who are you? Why the fuck do you care? Why are you here? And then Drew McIntyre responds to him and says, he basically, responds and he says whatever. And then Jacob Fatu pretty much tries to provoke Drew McIntyre. He's like, "Oh, if you weren't hurt, what would you do, Drew? What would you do? Yeah, what would you do?" He's basically saying that Drew McIntyre wouldn't do anything. He's basically saying he's scared of him and wouldn't fight him. And he was trying to provoke him on purpose. Like, he was trying to get him to fight him, but he was basically saying that you're not going to do anything, though, because you're scared. That's what Jacob Fatu was trying to provoke Drew McIntyre to attack him, and saying that he was scared to attack him. and saying that, he would beat his ass or whatever. So Jacob Fatu comes out here talking all that shit, saying that Drew McIntyre is just complaining and tries to start problems with him and tries to get Drew McIntyre to fight him, and saying that he's scared to fight him and that he wouldn't do anything. So then Drew McIntyre headbutts Jacob Fatu. Then Jacob Fatu super kicks Drew McIntyre and hits him with the leg boot that Drew McIntyre was wearing after WrestlePalooza because his leg was injured, and that's what happened. So Jacob Fatu is the one that started this fucking feud, from the very beginning, man. And yet for some reason we're supposed to root for this fucking guy. Well, I don't know if that's what they were doing, because honestly, who were they really trying to make the heel in this feud? This feud just felt all over the place. There's just certain matches where it's like Drew McIntyre is just fighting the person and that's it, So yeah, this whole feud was just whatever, but pretty much like, no, it's just I just don't know how Drew McIntyre is supposed to like how we're supposed to root against Drew McIntyre. Like they try to portray him, because I feel like they try to write him as like complicated, blurring the lines, gray area character, like an anti-hero or a tweener. They try to do that. But for the most part, they try to portray him as this evil villain, like he's mostly on like the evil side. And sometimes they try to portray him as like holy and, he cares about the fans. But for the most part, they try to portray him as this evil guy. But the thing is, the stuff he's saying and doing is justified. Drew McIntyre is always right, and yet we're supposed to be booing him. We're supposed to be rooting against him. He gets screwed over constantly, and then he doesn't even get to overcome that adversity of getting screwed over, because the person who he fights that screwed him over, they end up beating him. So it's like, how are we supposed to be rooting against Drew McIntyre? It's the way they book this guy. I'm just getting tired of it. So I hope Drew McIntyre stays gone for over a month, man. I don't want to see Drew McIntyre coming back next week, coming back on SmackDown this Friday and being like, oh, I'm going to go film a movie. No, just leave, bro. Come on, man. Just leave. I don't want to see Drew McIntyre for a long time, because I'm tired of the way they're booking him, bro. It's so annoying just seeing him be this whole character. Oh, he gets screwed over. Then he just loses the match with the person who screws him over. It's just getting old, man. It's getting old. I'm tired of it. It's annoying. That's all they do with this character. Literally. So, yeah, Jacob Fatu wins. I mean, I guess they made him look strong still. They didn't make Drew lose easily. I mean, like, he fought Jacob for like 14 minutes, and, he got hit with the toolbox and then with the finisher through the table. So I guess it was like, they didn't make him look weak losing to Jacob still. But, they shouldn't have fucking made him lose, But whatever. Anyway, so we got that match out of the way. Now we got the fucking tag team match with the women's. Bro. I really don't fucking care about this match. I really don't. And it's like, the thing is that people are going to get so excited because, oh, Paige returned. Oh, she's back. Oh my God, she's back. Okay. Have you not seen what has happened to every other person that has returned, every other big comeback? Have you not seen the what they have been doing to every single nostalgia person that they bring back? There's the cheap pops, the viral moments. Have you not seen the pattern here? Every single person that they bring back, it's all for a nostalgia cheap pop, and then ultimately they do nothing with their character, and it's just for no fucking reason. And yeah, that's all that happens. That's all it ever is. It's just a cheap pop moment to get the fans all riled up, to get views, to get money, to get people watching. And then in the end, they do nothing with these nostalgia characters that they bring back, and that's it. How many fucking people have they brought back that and done nothing with them? You know, fucking Charlotte Flair came back, they did nothing with her. Nikki Bella came back, they've done nothing with her. Alexa Bliss came back, they've done nothing with her. Brie Bella came back, they've done nothing with her. Brock Lesnar, he had came back, they did nothing with him. John Cena had came back, they did nothing with him. And now Paige is back. And no, AJ Lee came back. They have done nothing with her. And now Paige is back, and they're going to do nothing with her either. Why do I keep falling for these cheap pop moments, these cheap pop nostalgia moments? It's all just for shock value. They mean nothing. Why do y'all keep falling for this shit, man? I don't understand. It's not. I'm not even like upset. Maybe some of you fans who keep falling for this, I'm not even upset at that, at you guys, but I'm just upset at the booking. Like, just the fact that they keep doing this shit. Triple H and all the other writers, all they fucking do is shit. Cheap pop moments, cheap pop nostalgia. Oh, Charlotte Flair is back. Oh, Nikki Bella's back. It's like, I don't fucking care, man. Can y'all actually do something with the newer talent and the younger talent that y'all have? Not just the newer talent, not just the younger talent, both of them, right? The newer talent and the younger talent. Like, y'all got to do something with all these people, Y'all got to do something with them. Stop fucking relying on these fucking nostalgia old characters just for a cheap pop moment. Especially if you're not even going to do anything with them. That's even worse. Like, come on, man. It's just, I'm just tired of these cheap pop moments. I don't give a fuck if Paige returned. I didn't even watch her back then anyways. But even if I did, I wouldn't care. Literally. I would not care. So, the way I see it, the WWE, they do these cheap pop moments. Hold on, guys. What's up? I'm doing a video, so I'm gonna go to mommy's room. It's for it. Anyways, guys, so yeah, they bring these characters back, not because they're gonna do something with their character. All it is just a cheap pop nostalgia moment. That's why they bring the characters back. So that's why, they can bring characters back that I like, that are nostalgia, and I wouldn't care, because it's all just like they're not utilizing the talent they already have, and then they bring back these nostalgia characters to do nothing with them. And the ones they do something with them, it also feels just like not good either, because then what? You're telling me they just get to skip the line ahead of everyone else and win titles or whatever, or get put in title opportunities that maybe some of the other men or women are not getting in WWE and wrestling? Come on, man. It's just, I don't know. And the match itself was just garbage. It was botchy. It was slow. It was boring. It was repetitive. We've seen these women fight each other, brawl with each other, have no storyline with each other for months. It's the same tag teams going against each other. Now it's just for WrestleMania. All these matches that are night 1 and night 2 just feel like regular matches. They don't feel like WrestleMania matches. I'm not the only one who's been saying this, bro. Literally, I've seen other people say it too, because it's true. So yeah, Brie Bella and Paige, they win the match. I don't care. I really don't fucking care. They weren't even on Monday Night Raw. It was just like I think they were, but they were like backstage. They showed them backstage or something. I don't know. They didn't really say or do anything meaningful. They were just there, and that's it. I don't like that. I knew this would happen. They weren't gonna come back and do anything with Paige or Brie Bella or AJ Lee. So I don't care. Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee, that was the next match. Again, we've seen these people fight 1,000 times. We've seen Becky and AJ 1,000 times. And then they fight at WrestleMania again for the same fucking title. Oh, no. I don't know, man. Like, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? This match was garbage. It literally, and the ending literally made no sense. You know, we had that part where it was like, oh, the referee, the fucking referee, Jessica Carr, the same one that's like constantly screwing over Becky Lynch. Now all of a sudden she's like, you know, oh my gosh, she didn't realize the turnbuckle was taken off and she wasn't paying attention. Now all of a sudden, AJ Lee just gets seriously beat up, you know, while near the turnbuckle, while the thing is turned off. You know, the pad around it wasn't on it. The you know, the foam around it wasn't on it. It was literally taken off. Jessica Carr somehow doesn't realize it. Like, the ending was just so stupid. And somehow Becky Lynch, you know, she was ragdolling her. Like, it's just so unbelievable that they try to portray AJ Lee as someone that's like actually a competition for Becky Lynch. It's crazy because like Becky Lynch is like way taller than her. Like, AJ Lee is like a little girl compared to Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch isn't the strongest, biggest person either. But compared to AJ Lee, Becky Lynch is like pretty much. Becky Lynch she's not strong. I know that. She's not big, she's not strong. But compared to AJ Lee, she is. Becky Lynch is just like I don't know how they portrayed her as someone who could even be losing to AJ Lee. She taps out to her like multiple times throughout this whole feud. I don't get it. And then she needs to cheat just to beat her. It's just fucking stupid, man. I don't get it. Whatever. So yeah, this match, fucking garbage, and I don't fucking care. I'm not. It's better that Becky Lynch is winning because I like Becky more than AJ. You know, I like Becky Lynch, but still, I don't fucking care about her winning this title for the 3rd time. I don't care about seeing this match for the 1,000th time at WrestleMania. So, yeah. And overall, the match was boring. So, yeah. That's what I have to say about this. Gunther versus Seth. The thing about this match is that I've seen so many people saying this was the match of the night. Oh my gosh, this was so good. Gunther versus Seth Rollins. This was awesome. Dude, I did not think this match was awesome at all. This match was not awesome. Like, Seth versus Gunther, there were some good moments, right? Like, there was a couple moments where they had momentum and they had hype. And, you know, they were really building up the match. And they made you, you know, get invested into it. But, I mean, the way people were talking about it, you would think this was like an all-time classic. But, bro, it was nothing too crazy, man. It was nothing too crazy. It was mid at best, honestly. Like, mid. Actually, I would say it was close. It was bad, honestly, bro. This match, it was nothing really. And so yeah, I don't care about Gunther versus Seth Rollins. This match was literally thrown out of nowhere like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I mean. And they just randomly decided to just be like, oh yeah, you know, Seth, the reason I want to have this match with you is because you said you were better than me or whatever, and you said you were the best wrestler, and I want to be better than you. So that's what Gunther said. That was the whole motivation for why they said this was personal. Oh, wow. You said you were a better wrestler, and you were the best wrestler. Seriously? That's like the most generic reason to be fighting someone in WWE. That's like some low-level basic shit for some wrestlers to be fighting over, you know? This is like some stuff you would see on some like low-level budget wrestling show. Like, this is the kind of effort you would think they would be putting into that. But this is literally WWE, man. And this is the kind of shit they're putting together. Just random-ass matches with the most generic reasons to be putting people to fight for that we see all the time. Because like how many times have we seen someone go backstage and they talk shit, or they're in the ring, they talk shit and they talk about how they're the best and how they're better and blah blah blah, and how the other person sucks, and then they end up getting put in a match. How many times have we seen that? We've seen that 1,000 times. So for them to put this match together with little build up randomly out of nowhere, and then this is the reason why they're fighting too. Like, come on, man, it was garbage. I don't fucking care about this shit, man. This was trash. So yeah, Gunther versus Seth Rollins. It was trash, man. Like, people were hyping this up like this was some epic thing. Braun Breaker comes back, and it was predictable. Like, and then the thing is too, is that he comes back and he calls Seth Rollins the match, and then what? He comes out, tries to do a spear, and he messes it up. Like, bro, you can't make this up, man. Like, seriously? Like, how do you even manage to do that? And yeah, pretty much, yeah, Gunther versus Seth Rollins. Bro, this match was trash. Liv Morgan, Stephanie, they have their match. Liv Morgan wins. I do like Liv Morgan better than Stephanie Valkyrie. So I was happy that she won. But do I really care? Not really, because first of all, she's been champion like multiple times, and we know how Triple H books title reign, so I don't fucking care, because he's gonna book her title reign trash, just like Roman Reigns, just like Becky Lynch, just like Logan Paul, Austin Theory, just like Cody Rhodes. I mean, he's already been doing that, but still, like, Triple H doesn't know how to book good title reigns, man. So why the fuck would I care about Liv Morgan being champion? Why, Rhea Ripley, she fucking sucks. I don't care about her being champion. Like, it just feels like a lose-lose, man, because the people that they're putting as champions, they've been booked garbage for so long, and then they give them a title, and you may have liked their characters before at one point a lot, but then you see how they're getting written recently, and then it's so garbage, and they put a title on them, so it's just like you just don't care. And that's how I feel about people like Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch and Roman Reigns winning titles. Like, I like their characters, but they've been booked garbage for so long, and their title reigns have been booked garbage. Well, if they had a title reign like recently, they've been booked garbage, and so then they get a championship. And it's like, why would I care? It's just gonna be a garbage title reign. I already know that, because that's how Triple H books title reigns. So yeah, like Trick Williams, I like him too, but it doesn't matter. Carmelo Hayes, I like him, but his title reign was booked garbage. Trick Williams' title reign is gonna be booked garbage. It just means nothing, man. So yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about the people that I cared about winning their titles. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who won or lost still at the end of the day overall, because whoever won or lost these title matches, they were going to be booked garbage anyways, especially if they were already champion before, because we saw how bad their title reign already was before, right? So yeah, like AJ Lee, if she won, her title reign would have continued being garbage, because that's how it was already before that. Before this match. Fucking Stephanie Valkyrie, if she won, her title reign would have continued being garbage, because that's how it was booked before WrestleMania, before this match with Liv Morgan at WrestleMania. So nothing would have changed, So yeah, Liv versus Stephanie, Liv Morgan won. Happy for her. I like Liv Morgan, but bro, she's just gonna continue being booked garbagely. So I don't care that she won overall. Like, this is, it's like garbage versus garbage. Whoever wins is still gonna be garbage. I said garbage like 1,000 times, but that's how you could describe WWE and their characters. The match itself, I mean, it was just not entertaining. It was not interesting. Liv Morgan, she wins. Because like I think Stephanie was distracted, um, and yeah, it was like that's it. That's all that happened. I didn't, who cares? Like literally, there was, um, they you can't even say that the Judgment Day was the reason she lost because like Stephanie Valkyr was the one just standing there, like a fucking idiot, just like literally after she had dived into Raquel and Roxanne Perez, she just stood there afterwards, just like looking up, just staring around instead of focusing on Liv Morgan and the match and trying to win. Like it just made no fucking sense. That was just stupid. But that's how they have to book certain characters to lose because they don't want to make them look weak. So they have to make them look like an idiot while losing sometimes. And that's it, It's like it's just fucking dumb. Like, why the fuck would like why the fuck would Liv Morgan? Why the fuck would Stephanie Valkyrie just stand there afterwards? And like, that's how you made her lose. But whatever. Anyways, so yeah, Liv Morgan wins. Then we get to the main event of night one, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. So, I thought Randy was going to win, honestly. I thought Pat McAfee was going to get involved and he would, cost Cody Rhodes the match. But that's not what happened. So, that... And, I will say, this match was actually good. Randy, I felt like especially him, he was putting in the work. This match was good and it was bloody. And, people were saying that, the unsanctioned match, it had no blood. And this match had blood and it just made no sense. But blood doesn't make a match. It's the storytelling and the this the match itself that can sell it perfectly on its own. You don't need the most brutality and gore just to make it good. But anyways, yeah, this match was good though. It was like literally all the other matches which were just trash or mid. I feel like the unsanctioned match and this match with Randy and Cody were the only good ones. And yeah, this was a good match. Randy versus Cody for the Undisputed Championship. And Randy Orton, he was like selling this like back injury. And like people are saying he's actually injured and that's why he lost. And he was apparently reported to he was supposed to win the match. And yeah, that's pretty much what was supposed to go on here. But people are saying, fans at least are saying that he was injured and that's why he didn't win. But he was supposed to. I don't think that's what it was, man. Because if that's the case, then why the fuck is Cody Rhodes a champion? Because it said that he's injured too, and they don't know when he's gonna come back. I mean, he came back yesterday on Monday Night Raw just to cut a promo talking about being injured. But I'm assuming all he's gonna do from now on is just cut some boring ass promos, because I'm pretty sure Randy Orton isn't gonna show up because I think he's injured. They were saying that he was injured in storyline, but that might just be kayfabe. But I don't know. Like they changed the whole plan pretty much. If Randy Orton was really injured, you could have still let him win, literally. Because if you're gonna let Cody Rhodes win anytime he's injured or anytime he has to go film a movie, but whenever someone else has to go film a movie or is injured, they have to vacate their title. Like, come on, man, this fucking bullshit. Like, literally, it's just favoritism. And that's how Triple H is the one pulling the strings here, because there was recently some fucking article that said TKO is writing, there was a video saying that Mark Shapiro confirmed that he has full control over creative, and people went crazy over that, saying, oh my gosh, see, y'all are blaming Triple H, and there was people saying, oh, we gotta apologize to Triple H from blah blah blah. Yeah, guys are taking this shit out of context, man. Seriously. What Mark Shapiro was saying is that they have full control over creative when it comes to celebrities, adding celebrities. People like Logan Paul, Pat McAfee, Travis Scott, even The Rock. Like, they They were the ones that wanted these people to be there, and they added them there. And The Rock, he's a wrestler and he's a part of that, so it's not like he had to necessarily say yes because he's kind of like up there with them. But still, like he's like high up in that group of with TKO. He's working, and yeah, but TKO Mark Shapiro was pretty much saying that they add the celebrities. When it comes to creative, they have control when it comes to the celebrities. They're the ones that add them. They have control when it comes to that stuff. And they were pretty much saying that like with the main event scene on like the major PLEs like Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, those three major PLEs that they have certain, they have a final say in what they want or what they don't want, but even then they're still not the ones coming up with the ideas for these major PLEs. They just pretty much say yes or no, and that's it for what they want, for what they agree with Triple H's ideas, or what they don't agree with, and that's it. That's all they were saying. But they weren't saying that they have full control overall over creative and are out here fucking doing business meetings about sitting with Triple H backstage talking about what they want to do with the booking and whatnot. That's not what Mark Shapiro was saying, bro. But people are taking it out of context, and of course the Triple H fans, they were like, all the Triple H fans are like, oh my God, y'all are being too harsh on Triple H, y'all are blaming him. It was all TKO's fault. Like, I don't know why people are so, I don't know why certain people are so obsessed with just blaming anyone but Triple H. Like, what has Triple H done to earn that kind of protection from some of you fans? I don't understand. Why do y'all defend this guy so much? The same guy that takes credit for every single thing, including putting his name at the end of every fucking show, talking about Paul Levesque, Lee Fitting. The AI certainly isn't even there anymore because they don't even talk about that. They don't even mention it on the credits or in general. Like, there's no interviews talking about it. So the AI is not even there. But you always see Triple H, putting his name everywhere on the writers list, putting his name everywhere at the end of the shows, inserting himself in every fucking segment a lot of the times, right? Putting himself on video game covers, taking credit for when things go good, right? Talking about how if you don't enjoy what I'm doing, then F off. But yet, for some reason, we're supposed to believe Triple H has no blame for any of the bad booking. Come on, man. When this guy himself is taking credit for all this shit, man, especially the things that go good, he for sure is going to take credit for all that shit, man. Even if sometimes it has nothing to do with him, at times. So how are we supposed to not blame Triple H when he's the main fucking writer? He's the chief content creator, and we're supposed to think, oh yeah, it's all TKO. No, it's not. First of all, WWE is TKO because WWE is owned by TKO, so therefore they're all combined into one, right? It's like they're not separate. They're the same. The only way they can possibly be different again is if WWE goes off into its own thing again. But otherwise, WWE is TKO. So therefore, they're not separate things. So I'm just so annoyed just seeing certain people just talking about, oh my God, WWE is being sabotaged by TKO. TKO is WWE. What are we talking about, man? Triple H is TKO just as much as everyone else is. But that doesn't mean that TKO themselves are out here doing business meeting with Triple H and all the other writers and coming up with ideas. They're not. So why are we doing this shit, man? Why are we blaming everyone but Triple H? When Mark Shapiro, all he said was he's adding that they're the ones who have the final say when it comes to celebrities. They add the celebrities. But all the weekly shows and all the PLEs, including the major PLEs, because all they said was that they have a final say in the major PLEs, which is just a yes or no, and that's it with what they agree with or don't agree with Triple H's ideas. But overall, they're not inserting themselves with anything. Because as far as I'm concerned, the only times that TKO has taken credit for doing anything is with celebrities, and that's only been like what, a couple of times with like Logan Paul, Little Yachty, Jelly Roll, Travis Scott, all these people, Pat McAfee. Like they've only gotten involved in creative a couple of times, but overall, it's all Triple H, bro. He's the one booking these PLEs. He's booking the weekly shows. He's booking SmackDown and Raw. He's booking the pay-per-views. He's booking certain nice main events. He's booking Evolution. He's booking the Royal Rumble. He's booking all that shit. So why are we blaming everyone else but Triple H? I just don't understand some of you fans, man. I really don't. Like, y'all just do anything just to defend this guy. I don't. Why? And then some of y'all are the same people that want to talk about how we're just complaining. But then as soon as y'all see some information where y'all could blame TKO, then y'all all of a sudden want to say, oh, the product is bad. It's because of TKO. Okay. So aren't you doing the same thing by your logic? You're just complaining. Aren't you just complaining too because you think the product is bad? Oh no, that's only because y'all only say this though whenever it's Triple H. But as soon as you see something where you could pin it on TKO, then y'all want to say, oh, the product is bad and it's because of TKO, not Triple H. Come on, man. I don't understand why. Whatever, man. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. So yeah, pretty much what happened is, Cody Rhodes, he's injured. He gets injured, right, in this match. But yeah, he still keeps the title. But or not Randy Orton. What if Randy Orton was really injured? Oh, I would have rather preferred them just have him relinquish the title on SmackDown. Give it to Trick Williams or give it some new up and comer, right? Give it to Obafemi, see what he could do with it, right? Give it back to Drew McIntyre or some shit. I don't know, like literally anybody, fucking Roman Reigns or something. But no, they give it back. They let Cody retain, and now we don't even know when this guy's gonna come back. He might just be on SmackDown and Raw every fucking week, just cutting the same fucking promo and not wrestling. And, I'm just, oh, man. I am just tired of Cody Rhodes, man. This guy is just shoved down our throats. He wins this match off of the distraction from Pat McAfee. Randy Orton betrays Pat McAfee. So what was the point of adding him then? If you're just because Pat McAfee said he's gonna not come back if Randy Orton doesn't win the championship. He gets betrayed, Randy loses, and that's it. That's the end of Pat McAfee. So what are we then gonna do now? And then we see Pat McAfee praising Cody Rhodes afterwards, after WrestleMania on night 2, talking about, I was wrong about Cody. So this whole storyline with Pat, Cody, and Randy was just for nothing. TKO inserted them just to sell tickets and whatnot. And, Ari Emanuel was like, and, we need to sell tickets, right? Let's create a storyline of this. And Triple H okayed it because that's what he does. He likes Pat McAfee, so of course he's going to okay it. It has nothing to do with, he was against his will. No. Triple H doesn't care. He called Pat McAfee a friend. He called Pat McAfee a friend. So it's like I don't get it, man. Pat McAfee cutting all these great promos, and then but like at the end of the day, it's coming from him, so it just feels stupid. And then offer Randy Orton to betray him and lose. This is just fucking stupid, man. Then Cody retains, and that's it. The match was good, I'll admit. Jacob fought 2 and Drew McIntyre was a good match. This match with these two in the main event was good. But that's the only things I enjoyed about night 1. So that's pretty much my review for WrestleMania Night 1. It was garbage overall. And yeah, that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say at this point. You know?